And you're good.
All right, so I'll call the meeting to order and do roll call. Tomas,
Present.
Kathleen Russell,
Present.
Luella Perez,
Present.
Joe Diaz is not present, and myself, Shelley Klein, present.
1, 2, 3, 4. You have a quorum. Good job.
Fantastic. All right, let me just, sorry, I just had the agenda up. 1 second. Okay, so we'll just move right into the agenda unless there's any new business or unfinished business. Anybody? The second item on the agenda is to discuss proposing a joint quarterly meeting with the Redevelopment Authority. We had talked last meeting a little bit about the Redevelopment Authority and fire station, and the Redevelopment Authority is also sort of a new-ish committee, sort of, like us. And I think it might be helpful to set up just a quarterly touch base with them to see what they're working on and see if anything that we're thinking about doing, it works with items that they're thinking about doing. So I'm going to open that up for discussion. And does anybody have any thoughts about that?
I mean, I think that sounds like a good idea. Put more brains together.
Yeah, more brains are always good. Thank you, Kathleen. If nobody else has anything, any comments or wants to discuss, can I have a motion to propose a joint quarterly meeting from someone?
I'll do the first motion. Yes, Kathleen.
Thank you, and I need a second.
Second.
Yes, for me.
Okay.
And then you'd ask for any discussion at this point, once the motion's on the floor. Any other discussion? The only thing I would ask is, do we know any of the players? Like, do we know any of the people on these? entities?
I can reach out to Andrew.
Andrew Golis from Charlton.
Oh, so we're still talking about number 2. We just voted on number 2, right?
Proposed, jointly. Oh, I'm sorry. Yes, I'm totally ahead of you guys. Sorry.
You're
Okay.
way ahead.
Yes, and yes, you can reach out to Andrew. Perfect. Okay.
Yeah. Okay, so we'll move on to number 3.
No, so you want to take a vote? All in favor?
Yes.
So you made
Yes.
the motions, now you have to all vote, and you have to do a roll call vote because you are remote. So you'd say, Shelley,
Okay, Shelley, yes. Luella,
Yes.
Kathleen? You're muted. All right, we'll skip Kathleen for now. And Tomas?
Yes.
Kathleen? Yeah, I can see you're unmuted, but I can't hear you if you're talking.
Kathleen, yes.
Thank you. Okay, so 4 yes, and Joe is not here.
great.
So I'll reach out to.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you now. I'll reach out to Andrew and
Okay.
see if we can get it on for before the end of this quarter. So we'll move on to number 3. I think we've discussed in the past reaching out to Southbridge, Charlton, like Dudley EDCs to explore opportunities to meet with and learn about how their communities function, or their committees function, and navigate through town, state issues, set goals, and basically just getting a better understanding of what authority we have as a EDC body, and what we can actually do, by learning about what other towns around us have done, considering that we're a pretty new board. So I'd like to open that up for discussion. Is that right, Peg, or do I have to ask for a motion to?
I would first ask for your motion, yeah.
Okay, so can I have a motion on number 3?
Kathleen, yes.
So Kathleen would say, I make a motion that we vote, according to agenda item 3 or whatever you want to say. And then you would need a second.
Second.
Luella seconds it.
Yep.
And then you open it up for discussion.
Okay, so it's open up for discussion. Does anybody have any thoughts or?
So I'm going to sound now. So do we know any of the players?
No, but that's
Okay.
okay. I'm happy to reach out to them unless you know somebody, Peg, and you have some names. In any event, I'm happy to reach out to them to see what we can do.
Okay, yeah, just let me know. I could go through the town officials and get you names and contacts, or if you guys want to do it on your own, whichever you want.
Yeah, I mean, I can just go on their websites. I know Sturbridge and Charlton have, I know Sturbridge has a pretty good website for their EDC, so I'm sure I can dig out the information.
Okay, and I just want to mention that I think this is excellent timing. You met with Dave Adams. Did you and Dave talk about Dave and Mike Montigny's interest in trying to get highway access at all?
Yes, but should we vote on this first, or is that part of this number 3?
Yeah, part of this discussion. So, if you and Dave talked about this, one of the agendas that's being brought up is the idea of, can we find highway access? And not so much Sturbridge, but Charlton and Dudley should be interested. Charlton, of course, because we would get access through Charlton, but then Dudley. And so we're trying to find the right finesse to figure out how to get everybody on board that's a stakeholder in this. So this would be just one good first avenue of establishing relationships at our level, at least. So good job.
Yeah. Okay, is there any more discussion? It's a quiet group tonight.
I mean, I
Um,
think I used to know someone who was on the Charlton one, but I don't remember. I haven't talked to her in a long, long time if she's still the Pamela that's there. So
Okay, so we need a motion to vote on it, right, Peg?
Nope, you made the motion, now you just have
Okay,
to
so
vote.
now so
Yep.
Yep.
All those in favor?
Kathleen, all those in favor,
Yes.
Kathleen? Yes.
Yes.
Luella?
Yes.
yes.
Shelley, yes. And Tomas?
Yes.
That's
All
great.
right.
Good motion.
Moving on to number 4, we have Mike here tonight to talk about commercial parcels in town and whether the EDC can help and market those properties and strategize creating another industrial park in town.
Right. So you don't need a motion for this one. I don't know what the best strategy is. If you want to just first talk, do you want me to pull up a map? What's your preference?
Probably looking at a map helps.
Okay. Do you want me to look at a parcel map or Google Earth? Parcel map's probably
Parcel
easier.
map's better.
Okay. So are you all familiar with our parcel maps?
Yes, well, I am, yes.
Okay, so you go to our maps icon, maps GIS property information. And this is discrete to Southbridge.
I've been looking beyond just what's available.
I mean, if you did a quick LoopNet search on what's available, there's not that much, right?
Commercially, no, there's the land my wife and my brother-in-law own on Dudley River Road, which is zone office research.
This over here,
No. It's, yeah, that's it.
okay. So that one, the call with Macy's, that one, Mike and Ted suggested no, and I don't know if it's
What?
not considering that area for commercial industrial. Would you
Why wouldn't you?
imagine a reason why?
I've seen, the only issue you have over there is that there's brook coming out of Silvestri Pond. I was familiar with the street over there.
The wetlands?
You said, yeah, you just have to work around the brook, but there is an existing crossing over there which could be improved.
Okay.
It's also, typical New England hill.
And what access is off of Dudley River?
Yeah, there's plenty of frontage of Dudley River Road.
And it's nice because it's so close to the border there, right on the right side, on the,
Yeah, and the two.
I'm just thinking like it's that much closer to Worcester, it's that much closer to the highway.
It's down 169.
Right, but if we were to gain access from that end, right, so say we were to gain, 90, access to 90 someday.
Yeah, the easiest, from there you can go over, you can get to Route 31 and take 31 into Charlton. The quicker way is to literally go up 169 to get to Route 20.
Exactly.
That area has, obviously has power, and it has, water comes over the bridge over there. It's servicing, I think Mike Bartlow's building, which is the first lot, on that side of the road after you go over the bridge, and the gas line comes down through there. So that area has gas as well as water and obviously electricity. It doesn't have sewer.
And then Asher Realty is Alex Patel. Alex Patel.
Asher is,
Oh, no, not, it's
Elias
Elias.
Hanna.
Elias Hanna, thank you. Elias Hanna. Elias Hanna owns a lot of property in town in partner with other people. He and Jesus Suarez own the old golf course, which we'll look at.
it's RNG, yeah, RNG and Elias, yeah.
Mhm. And he owns property across the street from Big Y that he's allegedly developing into offices and residential. He owns the Golden Greek. Is that him? Yes. That's
Could
him.
be.
Yep. So he owns a bunch of property. He owns more parcels in here. He owns ones that have solar on them up off of. So look at this, Asher Realty right
Yep.
here. Yep. So
Well,
that's,
he owns stuff all over the place.
and
Yeah.
those already have solar on them. So although Mike and Ted said no to this, part of me feels like if we could encourage a private developer here,
Mhm.
that
You got to take
that could be a great industrial park. So if they've already got they could have, I don't know how you would do it, if you would make flag lots for the solar, or you would just like, you would rent.
There's no point doing solar at the moment.
No, they're all these all have solar.
They have solar, but.
There's so there's solar on, how would that work, right? They've got solar on the top part of the parcel, they've got solar on this top part of this parcel, but there's other potential development here, and then they've got this, and then if we combine this,
That's developed. What you just clicked on is developed.
Asher's got development on there.
There's a building, you're there on the lot next to, no, that's wetlands, that's flood zone.
So that's not gonna be anything.
That's not gonna be anything, that's flood zone.
Okay,
That one's developable, but your problem with solar is that your transformer farms around here are all maxed out.
oh no, I'm not saying we should do
Yeah.
solar, I'm just saying these parcels, these long weird parcels, right here.
Those are solar, yeah.
But the bottom half doesn't have solar, could it be
That's cool.
subdivided? Could it
Two
be?
problems, you got two problems. Number one, it's a cliff. Number two, you have, floodplain issues over there.
And you're not speaking from I want to see my family's property development.
No, I'm saying, from this perspective, we want to get rid of it,
Okay,
okay?
or we could, what if they held on to it and we got grants to help with site readiness to make it into an industrial park?
Yeah, from an industrial park perspective, it's, you've got elevation issues you need to deal with,
Okay,
okay?
How would-
And I've never, quite frankly, I've never walked the whole thing. I suspect the top of it may be reasonably flat, but I don't know.
well, it's the acreage.
The topographically, it's, it's not wonderful.
Okay, so do you have other suggestions?
Yeah, it's like 50 acres, 50 plus acres.
So then you have the other 50 acres. This is better placed than the other 50 acres up on Gulfwood Road.
Gulfwood Road's 20 plus acres. That's
25 and 25, that's 50.
50, okay, that's my, those are my cousins.
Right, so Mike's connected here, apparently, huh?
It's under Gate Realty.
So if we go over to, can you guys all see these maps?
Yes, I can see them.
Okay, so I'm clicking on the other one he's talking about. It's this one here. So this one is Undergate Realty is also called Macy's, and then the one below it.
And also Undergate.
But this isn't tucked up on Gulfwood Road. It's just sort of.
Well, the
It feels
Fletcher
like
Road,
it's farther out of the way.
there's two road accesses, one of which is not the best. You have Evergreen Street, which is basically the driveway up the right side of Charlton Street School. That it discontinued again, once you get past the.
Oh, yeah, we're just about to put a park in there and stuff. We don't want to encourage industrial traffic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can go up
Peg,
and you-
where on this map, would the DPW be? Just so I can,
Right,
Right across the
here.
street, right there.
No,
Okay.
that's not. No, hold
No,
on.
that's Big Beth Arches, yeah, that's DPW.
That's them. That's the old
okay,
building.
thank you.
Yep, okay, so there is contamination, a little bit of contamination from the old dump that was up at the DPW that still needs to be cleaned up. And so
Well-
this property may have a little bit of
No,
contamination.
that's been dealt with. Katie gave me there's an AUL on record now.
That just came through.
Yeah, it's the AUL only affects a relatively small area.
So there's already been sort of like whatever findings of contamination and where it is so that someone could develop now.
Yeah,
Without-
you've got an area with use limitations on it, which those exist all over the place.
Okay.
That contamination.
Okay,
And so basically you can't have like daycares, and you can't have residential stuff.
right, but we had we had developers come to us and say, we want to build 450,000 square foot warehouse. And I had suggested these two lots, but I don't think that anybody went for it because it's so isolated. Right? I mean, can you guys imagine warehouse trucks coming through that area?
Right by the school now.
The elementary school.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, like would the road infrastructure accommodate, like large trucks, Peg?
I don't know.
I mean, I feel like sometimes some of the roads I drive down, I feel like the car's gonna go right through them, but I won't get going on the roads because we're making lots of progress, but
Yes, but I mean, like, is it, worth looking at, I mean, this is all town property
Where,
here.
yeah, that came when it's with the high school, middle school.
Right, but could a road ever be built up into that area?
Well, the Evergreen Street runs next to, I mean, you can,
But we don't want to do that because that's all recreation area right there.
well, yeah, but it's a town street. Evergreen Street's a town street.
I mean, they're literally putting a toddler park right against the edge of the road there. Yeah,
Still, it's still,
I don't think it's the right
Undergate
fit.
has access over that road.
Okay. I don't think it's the right fit.
I don't think you want to use it because of the school.
Yeah.
But Undergate has access there.
Okay, all right, so, and then the other piece of parcel down in that area is Shot, right? Shot owns that.
Right, and you technically, yeah, you could,
And I've asked them if they're ever gonna be willing to sell this, the part that goes north.
Yep.
There's nothing on it. And I've asked them if they'd ever be willing to sell, and I got a very blah response. So I doubt it.
Peg, may I ask what the little green things are in that parcel and what the red means at the like
It's
the west?
wetlands. Yeah, let me take that layer off. Hold on, I had town wetlands on there because where there are wetlands, we can't build.
right.
So I just took
Also,
that, so I just took that off.
You have the domain powers if you've got the right thing going.
Yeah, you can
Yeah.
leave it on. I wasn't sure what it meant.
Okay. Okay, for eminent domain, can you take a part of a parcel instead of the whole parcel? So you just do
Do it all
like,
the time.
like an easement, like
You
we
do
do
it all
with
the time.
right of ways and easements,
Do it all the time, man.
we do but we just do slices. I never picturing like taking a whole half of the property,
I don't see why you couldn't. I mean, you do it all the time for road reconstruction and road takings and road improvements.
But then what are we taking it for and how?
We would have to have, I think legitimately you'd have to have something that you're working on from an industrial park perspective or something like
Right,
that.
right. So then you all see like how that, like, in the ideal world, right, the AO and then AO would let there be development in the back of their property, can they?
Yeah, but you do have a landfill back, you have your AO landfill back there too. You can be doing.
So then we can't really do anything there.
I don't know how bad it is. I mean, I just know it's there. If you look, you know where the apartments are
Mm-hmm,
and where they park the school buses?
mm-hmm,
Behind that is basically an area
Right.
doesn't have any trees or anything on it. That is
Is
the
no
AO
good.
landfill.
right. And so Gabe McCarthy was today on the phone with me saying, picture those fields behind the AO. And I was like, that's shocking. And I don't think there's any other real space for development on AO. I mean, am I wrong? He seems to think that there's more room for development on the AO.
I don't know. You'd literally have to, walk it and see what topographically what it's like and things like that.
Yeah. And then, so in the ideal world, if there was more manufacturing in the AO, if there was better access, right, if we did end up fixing the bridge.
Yeah, I mean, the issue you're gonna have with manufacturing is topography. Because, manufacturing today is one level.
Right, people want a clean, even parcel that they can build.
Raw materials come in one side and finished product goes out the other.
Oh, you're saying, and they want the site to
level.
be all level too, okay.
Well, yeah, I mean, you want one side, it's like, yeah, you can make something level if you have to.
Okay,
It's
so
just a
then,
question of the expense.
yeah, so guys, so how it works in zoning is you can't spot zone. Like we couldn't, so you see all the zones on the page?
Mm-hmm.
So we couldn't go find a big giant area like the one Jesus Suarez or RMG owns with Elias, the old golf course.
But
And
I don't, there's an
Where
argument
is
that
that?
would not be spots on because it's so large.
where is it? Where is it? Right here. So if you did this as an industrial park here, this is the old.
It's not industrial, because if you look at Carl Storrs in Charlton,
Mhm,
it's on Carpenter Hill Road,
mhm,
which is basically very rural road
mhm,
and residential.
mhm.
Carl Storrs is a manufacturing facility, which they tucked in there. And but it's done nicely. I mean, a Carl Storrs facility could go on RMG's land and you'd never even know it was there.
Yeah.
Okay, RMG's land has got wetlands issues.
I know. So if we go back to that layer, so what I was gonna say was you can't spot zone this one parcel and say, we're gonna make this business, we're gonna make this manufacturing, because that's seen as
You could bring that all the way down to Main Street.
right. So that's what I've been arguing. So then like this piece here,
If you-
no, it comes up as individual parcels. That whole subdivision that you guys see, that's on paper. That doesn't really exist.
That really doesn't exist now.
It's for sale for $2.1 million. And we got a call about solar. So someone was potentially interested in doing solar on it. Then we got another call about whether the subdivision was still good and whether they would be able to put in that subdivision. So that's
Where is
looking like,
that?
do you see where my highlight is?
It's teeny tiny.
Yeah, that whole subdivision there, of all those little lots, that's being sold as one big $2.1 million subdivision. And it doesn't exist. It doesn't exist. It's right off of North Woodstock Road. And so then you see how that connects to this.
Yeah.
So I was arguing to the building department that we should get the planning board to rezone that to AO fold because it's right next to the AO, and then get the other one, and then you can do residential or manufacturing.
Right, the
because
only
it's
issue there is right above the lot you've got highlighted is John Sugar's house. He's on about 20 acres.
Well, we don't need John Sugar because look, the AO fold.
Well, John, basically, I talked to John, there's like 25 acres there. John was like, he wanted to sell a good chunk of it,
Okay,
but he'll probably carve out about 5 acres for his house.
okay.
He'd really probably sell a good chunk of the rest of it, which means, again, depending upon how that is done, you could run your zone all the way down to the zone on East Main Street
Okay,
and over to the one on and over to,
And so with the AO poll, this was created in the last 5 years as a way to try to help revitalize the mill areas. It says you can do anything on these AO polls. You can do manufacturing and residential.
the problem.
And so then that
The
would,
problem with manufacturing is actually the buildings that are there, which, they're multi floors.
okay.
Again, it's just that's not the way manufacturing happens today.
Yeah, but my point is that if someone wanted to develop the subdivision and it was labeled AO fold, they still could. If someone wanted to create an industrial park at the golf course, they still could. If they wanted to do housing, they still could. So, people say they don't like our zoning. That's like the best way to just say, guess what? Do whatever the hell you want.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, the other, there's the Saga Realty land, which is further up, North Woodstock Road.
Where we were?
If you go south on North Woodstock Road, you're gonna see Sawyer's Path.
Isn't that also, that's the Jakes?
Huh?
Is that the
That's a
Jakes?
street off of 169.
No, but don't the Jakes own that? That part, those.
That's all zone, single family.
This here?
No, you run Tipton Rock, further north.
What am I typing in? What are you?
You look at Sawyer's Path. Saga Realty owns a lot of real estate over there.
Okay.
If you find Upland, which kind of runs behind St. George Cemetery,
Okay.
there's land between there and the Chilliwack area. It's definitely topographically difficult, but there's a big chunk of land there. The other place that's sitting around is the land the Polish club is going to have left after they sell the buildings.
They're not selling the land?
Not selling it all. But again, that land has a problem because it abuts the river.
The river and the national grid easement and.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So you guys, see where I'm coming from? It's kind of tricky. There's no obvious great next place. And
I have a question. Sorry,
Yeah.
I have a quick question. And part of this is because, I've only lived here for 3 years. So in the agenda, it says creating another industrial park in town. Is there already an existing functioning, fully occupied industrial park?
let me show you what we've got.
Not really.
Commercial Drive was the brainchild of some people back in the 20 teens.
Yeah.
And most of it was to be able to give Casella access up to the dump, right?
I think I was,
Yeah, primarily, to get Casella up to the landfill.
Yeah, so, they were, because of that, they were building this road and then realized that this might be a good industrial area. So you see
Yeah, but
you see
again,
Commercial Drive right here. And you see the one building that I have my cursor on.
Yeah.
That is like the one, that's Mid-State Welding. That's the one big manufacturing business that, has done what we would hope would happen on many parcels. If you look across the street, the one across the street is owned by Casella, but I guess it's challenging land to potentially develop. I don't know.
yes, that's very challenging. Topographically, that's challenging.
And the whole road is all ledge. I mean, you're going up, so it's up in elevation. So like Mike talked about, manufacturers want level ground. These are definitely not level lots.
What they want is level
So
manufacturing.
So there's no
All right.
more viable lots up there on the quote unquote commercial drive to expand, right? Is that what you're saying?
What did you say, Shelley? I'm sorry.
Are there no more viable lots to potentially expand the existing commercial drive industrial park?
We could put all of our heads together on this one, and figure out how to make it work or better, but I'm a little discouraged
This is remarkable.
Marijuana grow facility supposed to come up there?
So these two that are, anything you see that's hatched like this, with
Yeah.
Is that the second one? One of those has solar on it.
any one of these that's got the lines is public land. Okay, so you see the one up top here, this one's gonna be our airport. The ones down here, these are what was supposed to be Green Meadows property. And Green Meadows never finished the sale with us. So one of the first things I did a few years ago was reach out and said, hey, where are we with this? They're happy to get out of the sale. They've only paid us 1/4 of the sale value so far. And so this is sort of sitting in limbo. But then there was a little bit of a game changer, because then Guido Jakes came to us and said, he's looking for land. That might be a good fit.
How much land is Bruno want?
We don't want it. We want.
I know, but how much land is, how much do you want? That's it. That's A&M.
He wanted 5 acres.
No, it's not.
So, but he said this would be ideal. And so, this is 25 acres, I think, in total. No, 20 acres in total. And, I suggested Guido finish the sale with them through the transaction, so we never have to deal with it again, right? So, great, he pays them so they can pay us to close the sale, and then they can transfer it to them. But that hasn't happened, so it's sitting. So that one I definitely want to see happen. And Guido's still kind of working on this, because one of his issues was trying to get, I think, getting part of this land too, he's interested in. The Loudon estate.
Ooh.
What is he what's his plan for that land?
Well, so they're in precision manufacturing. They do, a lot of, like the robotic manufacturing contracts, and they're growing. They just got another contract that grew their business by 30%. So he, like Mike's talking about, would like to build a 1-story warehouse and to find that ideal location. So I would love it if they follow through on that, but they.
Warehousing doesn't necessarily, depending upon how you do warehousing, it doesn't necessarily have to be one floor.
Well, but whatever. So, but to your point, it's probably more ideal.
Yeah.
So anyway, so there's a potential plan for that. And then the rest of the street is kind of, one is the Casella Blue Building. All they want is a recycling business in there. We've brought other types of businesses to that parcel, and they're not interested. The next parcel is the dump. So that we can't do anything on that dump. And then, go ahead.
Don't you have land at the top at the north end of the airport?
I don't think we can touch it because we are,
The one on the left?
there's a new Fish and Wildlife.
No.
That's all, yeah, Fish and Wildlife now.
Oh, Fish and Wildlife, okay.
Yeah.
That is probably,
But maybe this is the kind of stuff, I don't know, maybe I don't know enough details about, like, do we want to do a deeper dive into what's really going on Commercial Drive and whether or not we have any power here to improve things? One of the issues, to complicate it, was we were supposed to have brought water up Commercial Drive to create redundancy down to Pleasant Street. And we never did it.
should have been done when the street was built.
Yeah, and there's not a ton of power up here. So like this is a little solar array, and at the bottom is a substation that's completely outdated, that like you were gonna start talking about, they're not updating. So we had, for instance, these 2 businesses that were so cool. They were gonna do glass upcycling in the Casella Blue Building, that recycling building here. Sorry, here. So this blue building here, but they needed more power, and we couldn't help them.
Well, yeah, and the other issue with power, I mean, it's like Southbridge has put in 2 frozen food warehouses over the last few years, plus Amazon, plus the one that's going on, the Walmart warehouse, which is going up in Charlton Road.
But then we've
They
got,
all drop out.
but we've got everybody know that we've got the LNG plant right across the border in Charlton.
Yeah.
Yep.
EDC.
Hey.
Northeast Energy is right over the border, and they have come to me. They've stopped coming to me because they gave me no after no after no. But they were coming to us over and over again saying, how can we help you? Because I think they were green, who knows, they could have been greenwashing, they could have been genuine, but with whatever the reason, they wanted to help our poor little town. And so they were hearing our problem about power up there, and they were saying they could potentially, if they could get to the Loudon property, they could run it right there through the back.
Mhm.
And so,
Right off the backside.
yes, they were saying they could help us pull more gas off the landfill. They were saying they could put a solar array on the landfill, but the town was so nervous because we just capped the landfill, and what if we puncture it? The Board of Health said, no way in hell, we're not touching that thing. And so we just turned them away over and over and over again. I'm not an energy expert. I have no idea how to convince the town that this is okay. So I was out of my league, and so, just kept having to tell this person no. So like there are all these little, right, these little pieces that maybe if we were more sophisticated, we could figure out.
Well, I would suggest that rather than having each board look at these things from their own perspective, I mean, somebody's got to coordinate all the boards. And maybe it's all the board chairs in a meeting to go over all of this stuff. The town has a coordinated approach rather than a hit and miss approach to dealing with these things.
A suggestion. But I don't even know what I'm pitching if I bring them together. You know what I mean?
Peg,
Are you-
if we were able to work through that exit off of the Pike, where would you envision that being in conjunction with the current commercial drive?
So do you see how close Commercial Drive is to
Yes.
the border of Charlton?
Yes.
So that's one, so if we could get access up here, then we're that much closer to potential commercial drive.
Mhm.
Then you keep going up, and the LNG plant is right around, I don't know. Let me go. Well, anyway, so the LNG plant is then on your way, and
But if you can show the,
Amazon plant, and then they'd be closer to Treehouse, right? So if you just came up 169, they're suggesting just go right across the street, and access it, not directly as in it, maybe like just a little to the left, there's a new storage facility there. I'll get on Google Earth so you can see it better. The next step, I was actually telling Mike before the meeting, we are going to bring this to a subcommittee meeting on Wednesday for discussion. There's a new MassDOT grant that does feasibility studies, and we're going to pitch, would they be willing to do a feasibility study for this? And they hire subcontractors, so it wouldn't be MassDOT people that might be biased. It would be an outside consultant, and then obviously they pay for it, so that's great. Okay, so let's see. We are going to just zoom in. All right, so we're going to go up Worcester Street. We're going to keep going up Worcester Street. There's our Commercial Drive. Everybody can see that, right?
Yep.
So Commercial Drive, we just passed that. Now we keep going up, right? We're going to go past the Amazon distribution center.
the Amazon, you gotta come back down.
Oh, is it for the LNG plant?
Yeah, it's right by income.
It's right for where?
Income, a little further down,
A little further down.
a little bit more, a little bit
Right
more.
there.
Oh yeah, Millennium Power Plant, right there.
Right there.
They go by Northeast Energy or Millennium Power Plant. So they're on the way. Amazon's on the way. And then who's the other? Treehouse.
Treehouse.
Treehouse has been right, Treehouse over there to the left.
Yeah.
So then Treehouse is there.
If you go back to Southbridge, you're gonna find the new construction for where,
And then there's gonna be a Walmart, right?
and then on the
Walmart warehouse.
opposite side, Picker Road,
That could have been the 450,000 square foot warehouse that we were doing because they were confidential about the client.
could be,
But they didn't like the AO because they couldn't get enough, it was inconvenient road access in and out. And they didn't like the Gulfwood because same thing, that's, tucking through town in and out. So we lost our chance, unfortunately.
right, and across the street at Picker Road, and then between Picker Road and Walmart, there are two frozen food warehouses.
Okay, all right, so everybody can see this. So Southbridge Road comes up to 20. You see that?
Yep.
And then you see what you're seeing, that is a storage facility at John's Auto Services. So what the suggestion was could we get an easement right through their property straight up to 90? But then that's great for this side of the highway. How about the other side of the highway? So then you've got that Brookfield Road is an underpass, right? Could that be from the other direction? But then that would kick people out on this Brookfield Road unless it could be connected over to this other road that gets connected. I don't know. I mean, it's a huge endeavor. And I was laughed at when I brought it up with CMRPC a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
You know, build an interchange is, you know, a whole lot of money. Right now, they are spending a ton of money reconstructing the 94-95 interchange.
Right.
It's gonna be good when it's done. It's, you know,
Right.
it's been going on for a couple of years now.
Okay, they'll be done with that. Right?
So
Yeah.
Amazon has a direct access, right, onto the Pike?
So I actually did a bunch of screenshots I'll be bringing to the subcommittee showing every single one of these guys, they get off and they go on to 20. They get off
At 84.
at 84, they loop around on 20. They, coming from the west, they get off at Auburn and they take 20. When I was in a regional transportation envisioning 2050 exercise, they all talked about how we need to address traffic on 84 and 90, or at 84 and 20. And if you were to create this extra access, that would immediately relieve some of that.
Right.
So
Amazon doesn't have their own entryway onto the Pike?
no, look, here they are. So here's Amazon. They've got right onto 20. So they have access to 20.
And they've got an employee entrance on it.
And
I
there was
thought that-
talk.
Yeah.
There was talk back years ago, supposedly, about creating access from, right? You were saying
From the north end of the
from
airport.
Treehouse? No, the other one. Somebody was saying from what Treehouse is now, Treehouse was supposed to be something
It
else.
would have been further west.
No, what was Treehouse going to be?
I have no idea.
So Treehouse was going to be a different development, and somebody told me that at that time, there was talk about making a direct access to 90, which does seem like a really.
I came and met with Rosemary and San Angelo about direct access from the north end of the turnpike. It would have come out to the land where Walmart, that raw space you see there.
Oh, maybe that's what you were talking about.
Next to where you see the H for Heritage, no, a little, back a little bit more.
Down here?
That raw land, that raw space you see there.
Yep.
Okay. My client had that under control and enough parcels to connect to the town-owned parcel at the top end, at the north end of the airport. And we brought it to
Rosemary and Don
San Angelo, and
no
they
one
blew us off.
thought it was a good idea. Okay, so now I don't want to get
But
off.
that was commercial drive to Route 20 in less than 2 miles.
I don't want to get off the agenda item about commercial parcels, but
Yep.
you can see how that if you were to get that access to 90 that much easier, why maybe a little more investment in commercial drive would be worth it, right?
Yeah. I mean, basically, you've got a little bit of land there, and then currently zoned semi-appropriately is the undergate land and the land on Dudley River Road. Those are what you have zoned somewhat appropriately now, although this office research stuff has got to go away.
And it will. So what he's talking about is on our zoning. Right now, we have something called office research, and it's not useful. It's basically like light manufacturing. You can't do manufacturing on those.
Well, I tried to list my wife's land with Quickman Cavango, Jacobs.
Mhm.
They looked at it and they said, "What is this?"
Right.
Literally said, "What is
Yeah,
this?"
so the planning board doesn't like it either, and they will get rid of it. So, okay, so he's saying the Dudley River Road stuff that his family owns, the Gulfwood parcels that his family owns, or do we look at, whether there's more potential on commercial drive?
Depends on how big a piece of people want.
And how do you even go about it, right? Like that whole idea of marketing it and, should the town own it? I know, in my hometown, the industrial park was created by a guy who had a bunch of land He went and built some roads, he went and enticed some businesses, and it took off. You know, if only it were that easy, right?
Right.
Yeah,
Oh, you know,
I mean, it took decades. Yeah, but,
oh, it takes a long time. It's like, you know, I mean, Oxford has done it, but, you know, they've got 395 right there.
right.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know what you guys think.
Well, sorry, go ahead, Luella.
I'm with the plan of don't make more messes if we already have one. So, you know, the commercial drive thing looks like a long-term project, but it looks like a research project, if that makes sense, because we already have it.
Yeah. I think you're totally right.
So I wouldn't knock it off the board because the other ones don't quite make as much sense. And right now, we have a huge traffic problem going on where Dudley River Road is because of the updates at the AO. So I don't know how long that's going to last. And also that trail is going through back there, right? Because I saw a new fence going on the other side of the AO or something.
That wouldn't, I mean, yes, the trail is going in. I don't see it. Do you see it enough? I don't.
It's the trail,
No, the trail's gonna be on the other side of the street.
It's on the other side of the river, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's on the other side of the river.
I feel like if you're trying to make like an you can't see me right now, but if you're trying to make an industrial drive over there, it's like rubbing your head in your stomach at the same time. Let's do the nature and the industrial. I think we should just face the headache of not split focus, but put focus over here on commercial drive because it's already sitting there, and untie those knots and see what that looks like when we don't have the mess instead of creating two messes that we have to deal with at once.
Yeah.
That's where I'm at.
I think you need to identify the parcels, talk to the owner, see if they're willing to sell. And then you need to identify the real estate brokers who deal with this stuff, like Wickman Cabango, and there's others who deal with these kinds of parcels. And not necessarily give them listings, but let them know land's available and commissions are there.
Hey, a question on the commercial drive property. Is that a giant wetland that is across from the old landfill?
Yep.
Is that a yes?
Yeah.
Yeah. They got a big swamp.
Yeah, so it's this over here.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so it looks like there's a fair amount of wetlands. Do you think that that's going to be an issue with the Concom?
Yeah, of course. But I mean,
You can't, yeah, I mean, wetlands are very well protected in this state.
yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, like, so this potential parcel is all ledge, all elevation, and then where it's not, you've got wetlands.
Oh, the other thing I was going to emphasize on that one is that it's on the border of Charlton, and we're trying to partner with them anyway, so we can further develop a relationship by even doing research there, which we would need no matter what happens, is more contacts. Yeah, over there, yeah. That would be, there's nothing but benefit I see from tearing that apart, because once we get all the pieces together, we'll have a better idea of what to do in general, and we already have it, and Charlton was willing to talk to us. So what I heard is we need to know more about energy. I could find sources on that. I know science people, just to get information. And we want to talk to their EDC and talk to them. And then there's another, that's all Charlton, right? Right in there. There's not anything else going on border-wise because it's all zoomed in. But Charlton, we share water with them anyway, right? So we already kind of have something going on with them.
Right.
Right. So let's, my thing would be, let's focus on that mess, iron it out, look at all the pieces that we have and figure out, okay, what can we do this? What can we not do with this? But like pick it to death until we figure out what the heck to do. And then in the meanwhile, develop a relationship with Charlton, who I'm sure has dealt with this kind of thing before with Amazon and whatnot. And then it's kind of like a win-win. We learn a lot. We develop a relationship with the surrounding town that we're gonna need in the future anyway.
What if we also met with the Rick Clements is the airport commissioner chair,
Okay.
and he knows a ton about development.
Yeah.
And Peg, we must have a wide swath of historical documents around commercial drive. I'm
What did you ask?
guessing,
What did you ask?
we must have like all of the old planning and research docs. I mean, I'm saying must, but I'm assuming that
They
we
just
would,
they just did a new master plan, so they have the airport well laid out. Their intention is to expand the airport to allow in small jets in coming years. And that would require actually expanding into Barefoot. I think
Right.
I would have to.
Probably the stretch the runway.
Yeah, so they've got, so they've got some major plans, and the question that Mike had was, do they have any land that could be potentially developable?
Well, yeah, well, the question I have is the airport worth keeping?
Yes, of course, wonderful.
Are there, and it doesn't have to be in this state, but is there another example?
Is it how much is it
I
actually?
think we're done with Mike, keep going.
Nothing outside the box, mate.
Is there another example of an airport like this?
Great piece of flat land to develop. The old Fed's probably $30 to $40 million up there.
Yeah,
Mm,
yeah, we would.
do we generate, Peg, do you know off the top of your head how much revenue we generate from the airport?
It is an enterprise fund, so it's its own business. Their accounting basically is like, it's their own in and out of money. We don't fund the airport. And they have just built a new hangar thanks to the FAA that will then allow us to rent it. And we've brought in other types of fuel, like a little bit of a, fuel farm so that people will come fill up from us, So we are coming up with revenue generators. Rick is a good businessman. They're doing good things up there. So, so a lot's going on up there.
Bringing in jets would help, probably.
Yes, absolutely.
But, I mean, I don't know if you have enough runway to do that.
So we do it right now. So they added into the master plan to expand it. Yeah, and it has to be in the master plan if we want to try to get funding for it.
mhm.
So I don't know how all these pieces fit together, but do we want to come up with some concrete next steps? Like invite Rick to a meeting?
Mhm.
What do you guys think?
I don't see why not.
Okay.
Word.
Are you finding like bringing in people like this helpful?
But I think,
Wait,
I
Mike's
think
not allowed to respond.
No.
Do you guys find bringing people like who else did we bring in? We brought in, Hudson's director. We brought in, who else did we bring in?
Yeah, someone else.
Yeah.
I don't remember who else we had, but, right, so
We had
did you
Ted
find?
come in one
I was gonna
meeting.
say, didn't we have Ted come in? Yeah.
Yeah, I think Peg, like on our very first meeting, we came up with a list of items, and Kathleen has dropped off, but we came up with a list of things that we wanted to achieve this year. I'm not sure that we're actually doing any of those right now.
Yeah.
And I would,
understand.
I would really like to see us focus on, maybe like 3 bullet items right now, and maybe do some focusing on preparation to move into bigger projects. But I'd like to get something done this year, and we're almost mid-August.
Where is that? Because I'm still developing what I'm developing, and I don't remember. I don't know if that was here for this one because I joined late.
You weren't. It was back in like January or February.
Oh, okay. I'd love to see that list because that would help me out for helping you guys out.
So I don't know if I can get my hands on it right now.
That's fine. It's not a urgent.
Well, no, but even responding to Shelley about choosing things to focus on, yeah.
Yeah, I like that we have people that want to come in and talk to us. I just worry that we're not really focusing in on items, like I don't feel like we have a good plan as to how we're going to achieve these items. And we're having, like we've learned a lot from our guest speakers, but I would really like to see us sort of hone in and come up with an action plan to achieve some of these things.
Mhm.
Yeah, So when you say achieve some of these things, do you want to go back to the original list from January and pick what those things are that you want to focus on? Or,
Well,
you know, I keep
I
throwing
think-
out different potential, like the last meeting we met with, Tomas and talked about, everything he learned about Hudson and what of those lessons are applicable to us. And should we hire Mark Mahigian, Rob Mahigian to consult with the towns? That would be a really good potential action item if we want to bring that to the next agenda.
Yeah, so maybe for the on our next agenda, let's gather up all of the things that we said that we wanted to work on. The website was one of those things. And let's take a vote and decide on 3 things that we really want to execute on in 2025, and come up with a plan on how much of those 3 things we want to have finished before the end of the year and how we're going to actually make that happen.
And when you talk about improving the website, just knowing like what is within our control before we get too deep in it.
Okay, so if nothing is in our control, then we need to take it off the list.
Exactly. And so we should find out from the town manager and from the IT office, like what things are negotiable on the website, or is it just the economic development page that we want to focus on? Or you had talked about, potentially creating, our own business-oriented website. Or we use Civil Space, which is what I use as a storyboard for projects. So there are multiple options within that conversation about websites. So, this is part of it, right? We're gonna choose some things to focus on. We're gonna get into the weeds of it. What are those things?
Yes.
Okay, so website options.
Yeah, I like that one because that's part of the whole building a cohesive plan of communication thing.
Yes.
Yeah,
Okay.
'cause I think there's small projects that we can actually, execute and achieve, so that we can feel like we're actually making some progress. And I think there's small, medium, and large projects that I think we'd all like to work on, right? Like revitalizing downtown space, industrial park, creating more economic opportunities for people in town.
I will add that to the agenda. So I did have a conversation with Bernadette Mead, who is a big volunteer in town. She serves on the chess park committee for the library, and she's a library trustee. She was one of the 3 people that was doing the plantings with Steve Brady. Remember I told you how he was paying $3,000 out of pocket? And so I had talked to her about what does she suggest as a next step, because I said I'm bringing these items to the EDC and to the redevelopment authority about how do we solve these problems. So I'll bring that as a discussion item to the next one.
Okay.
Tomas
If you think
gave
that's
us a lot of good information, and I'd like to figure out how we can act on the information that Tomas has gathered and, the presentation that the EDC director from Hudson presented, and really orchestrate a plan to actually start implementing some change.
So follow up from Tomas's presentation. Are we able to hire Rob Mahigian? Yes.
Yes.
Website options.
Yep.
And then what did I say?
You mentioned the volunteers. Yep.
Yeah, downtown planters. How to.
Did we already mention looking at the list? Because that would be cool to sit down and see, do a strategic analysis of it. And as Shelley was saying, like resources, first of all, because that's always our problem. And then from there, we can pick them.
So review list from January of interests.
And do a strategic analysis on it, because without that, we don't, like, as to Shelley's point, we can pick a laundry list, but without taking a really thorough analytic assessment of it. I'm going to throw that out there. We're just throwing spaghetti at a wall. So it'd be good to, like, the website is a very doable one. You have a lot of resources that you listed already that we own, right? And then there's other ones where we have to go and get other people involved and all this good stuff. But that one, we're sitting on what, like 3 or 4 pieces of things we already own, and all we have to do is set up a plan to execute on it. So this is what I'm talking
Sort
about.
of, yeah.
Yeah.
Sort of, because I think there's one IT guy, and I think from what I've heard, he's overworked, but our website is underserved. So,
Mm-hmm.
you know,
The point is we own it. There's no more like, we don't have to put down thousands of dollars. We don't have to do this. We don't have to do that. We're sitting on it, and we could
Right.
do.
yeah. And I
something
think
with it.
like maybe we explore, like, there's got to be some like computer programs at the high school. Maybe we can, you know, try to get
automation.
some kids to get some volunteer hours. I'm
That's a-
like,
That's a great
Uh,
idea. So as part of that website options,
Yeah.
Luella, could you just give them at the next meeting a sort of highlight of, you know, what you
Yeah.
and I were discussing when you came in, because you had some
Yeah.
really fantastic ideas.
Yep, I can do that. Highlight ideas. I was just gonna say, because I'm like, yeah, I looked at that and there are already free stuff attached to it. Okay, I will do that.
Are you guys okay with that, Shelley?
yes. And then could you just put that, Luella giving us all an update on the agenda then?
Run
Yes.
down on the websites. Yeah,
Communication, yeah.
digital presence. Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna send these agenda items to you, Shelley, for approval.
Yeah, one more thing though, Tomas and I had exchanged an email, and it was just the two of us, so there wasn't an open meeting violation.
No, it was not.
But can we put Tomas, if Tomas is comfortable with it, also on the next agenda, just to discuss, I had pitched to Tomas that maybe he go to White Paper and see if maybe they'd be interested in sponsoring Rob for those hours, because I certainly can't, because I'm the wrong Facebook profile, but
But I may have another idea about it too. Yeah,
I'm open
Yeah.
to
but
it.
well, yeah, okay, so discussion of how to fund, yeah.
so maybe Tomas can have his own agenda item and talk about what like if he's reached out to them or who he's reached out to about potentially funding Rob, because I'm not so sure that the town council would agree to it. I mean, I could be wrong, but I've watched some recent meetings and they're being very frugal. So
I have some ideas.
oh,
I'm always churning up these little popcorn ideas, so I might have one for.
Peg, I don't know if you are resubmitting the request to waive the 25% on the CDBG grants.
It's not recent, we're just gonna have a discussion of it at the next subcommittee meeting.
So like maybe there could be some income criteria where like the convenience store on the corner of Hook, right, that has a different level of income than some of the wealthier clients on that, or customers or owners in town, like maybe for people who have less revenue, then they can get the 100% blight grant.
Yeah, why don't you come to
Right.
the subcommittee on Wednesday, or submit your ideas in writing to me in advance as an
Okay.
individual? Yeah,
I can't Wednesday. I'm going to New York to see Wicked with my granddaughter, so I
Oh,
won't
that's
be
so
there. But
for you.
yes, and then on Friday I'll be in your neck of the woods, white water rafting and doing some
that's
aerial course at Berkshire East. So
Yeah,
Yeah.
that, I spend a lot of time there, that's great. All right, so Tomas to present strategies for funding Rob Nahagian?
hmm.
Okay. All right, good. Any others?
No, I have some ideas on how to pay for the flowers and stuff, but I need to have another meeting with Dave Adams and Olivia, which may not happen until September, toward the end of September. So just
Okay, so-
earmark.
Right, so we'll save it for the agenda item discussion, yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, anything else? Going once, going
Hey,
twice.
did the smoothie shop close downtown? Did you hear that?
It will be, but you know what? they do such a better job of Taqueria Siguanaba. That's what they want to focus on. It's off the
Yeah.
best, right? Because I
Yeah.
don't feel like it's well marketed. I don't feel like signage was really popping for people to even know it was there, you know?
Yeah, I had heard that. I didn't know if it was indeed the case. Disappointing.
That is what I've heard. I have not heard it directly from them.
And I also just want to say I went to Treehouse for the first time the other day, and I can't believe how many people go there.
Oh my gosh.
And
Yes.
how many opportunities if we had some really good restaurants
Exactly.
in town to get
Right.
people to come here.
Right.
Yeah,
I mean, their food
especially
trucks are
'cause
good,
it's-
but you know, they're food trucks, right? Like if we had something besides pizza and Chinese.
Sure, but yeah, so I mean, this is kind of like back to that conversation about what's the right timing for all of this. Like,
Yep.
we're about to tear up all of our downtown over the
Yep.
next 3 years, and it's going to look completely different. But in the meantime, I don't know how easy it's going to be to convince somebody to come here and start the restaurant yet.
So can you also add to the next agenda that we talk to Paul Zotto and the cable guys to do a potentially talk about doing a work in progress marketing video where we can be like, hey, this is what we're doing and this is what it's going to look like when we're done. And, you know, maybe you want to get your spot now before everybody else does.
Does Paul Zotto work for cable?
He doesn't, no, but he did for years.
Okay, so yeah,
That's his-
no, so Charlie Diaz is amazing. Have you ever worked with him?
I do know, I know him, yes. I don't know how full their schedule is, so.
He does such good work. Okay, so what's the request? We want
To talk about if we should do it like a work in progress marketing video, you know, showing all of the changes that are in motion.
good idea.
And encourage people to, you know, buy in sooner rather than later.
Okay, that's a great idea. Okay. That's a full.
I have a question.
Yep.
So I know we had that meeting a while back with Ted, and he was talking about the food trucks, and it was kind of like, you know, out there. But I was talking to a girl who I met through traveling the internet because I don't leave my house, and she works for a small town in North Carolina. It was like 250 people, and they revitalized the place by shoving food trucks down the main street because they also had like a completely dead or non-existent downtown. So you're saying the place is going to be ripped up and we won't necessarily be able to put in brick and mortars, but those things have wheels and you could set up a place where people could be routed through, especially because right now we have the traffic issue. And I've heard people from Sturbridge complain about how bad the traffic is in Sturbridge. So they're cutting through town. So even if we had something set up temporarily, people and businesses, even by, you know, Big Y, that car place has a sign that says, come get your car washed while you're stuck in traffic. We could take advantage of this bottleneck by setting up something, even though we don't have the ideal situation going on. And they're cheaper and people could do it. And people are complaining about that cereal cow because it has a Puerto Rican flag outside and no food, by the way.
What do you mean it has no food?
The cereal cow, it's ice cream, right? So it has a Puerto
No,
Rican
they serve
flag
sandwiches.
outside. Well, everyone who's gone in there that I know in the Puerto Rican community goes in expecting food, and there's no food.
No,
So I
they
keep hearing
serve
people
minced
complain about it.
minced meat or sandwiches or like ground up ham and turkey. I've been in there several
If
times.
they
And
have it now, that's cool, but that's not the feedback that I received. So I'm sharing that with you.
So, okay, not getting too far off the agenda. Shelley, would that be something you would want to discuss at a future meeting? Is the food truck idea?
you know what would be helpful, Luella, is if you can remember the town in North Carolina so we can see what.
I know her. I'll just talk to her.
Okay.
She's the town commissioner for this small town. I'll get more info from her.
Sure. I mean, I think anything that improves, you know, or creates more traffic through town is
Yes.
well, traffic that generates revenue, right? Not just traffic.
Yeah, because we have the bottleneck right now of traffic being funneled through the town. So we might as well take advantage of that. And the quickest way to do it is something on wheels, something temporary.
Yeah,
So-
although I don't know how much revenue we actually get from that, but probably just the inspection and Board of Health certificates, right, Peg?
I don't know, but I know it would bring bodies here and people feeling more comfortable with being here in the first place. So that's, you know, a step toward progress, right?
Yeah.
Right, they're all steps. So then the idea would be that if there were other businesses, they would come spend their money on other businesses, but we've got to get the other
Exactly.
businesses. The reason, so that I was saying to Mike earlier, like, you want it to all pop at once almost, but it's hard to do that. You've got to, create obviously the interest. So yeah, I mean, we're in a tough place, but we'll get there.
And we still have the RMV too, and that draws people from everywhere.
It's a draw, but it will be relocating, and that will be a great place to market. For that might be the one real, like, if you want to talk to the business, if you're thinking about food corporations, hospitality groups, that's it, thank you for the words. Yeah, if you wanted to talk to a hospitality group about that location, that might be a great one.
Hospitality. Okay.
Yeah. That's just a thought. All right, so Shelley, should I send you this list? Are we good?
Yeah, yes, when you send that list, and then let's send it out, redistribute it amongst the group early though, so people can remember what their responsibilities are for the next meeting, because I know I forget, so I get busy, and
So how
the
about
next thing I know, it's time to have a meeting, and
Yeah.
I send it to all of you right now? Kathleen, Russell, Joe, Diaz. Okay. All right, good. Thank
so
you, guys.
September 4th is the first Thursday. Do we want to plan for that day?
Getting in a rhythm.
It's fine by me.
Luella, does that work for you?
Yeah, I can make that work.
Okay, so we'll plan for 5 o'clock on September 4th. And maybe no guest speaker next month, Peg, so we can get through our laundry
Okay.
list.
Okay, sounds good.
Awesome. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thanks,
take
Mike, for your presentation.
Thank you.
Mike. I showed him quite a few times in the end there. Hopefully he forgives me.
You didn't talk about was Mill Street.
Yes, we did not talk about Mill Street. That's another piece nest. Okay.
Oh, darn.
Only
Yeah.
because.
All
Part
righty.
2 next quarter.
Yeah,
Yeah. All right. Good night, guys.
thank
Bye.
you. Bye.
See you. Bye.